Heading home less than an hour ago, President Obama announcing over 30,000 troops will be leaving Afghanistan. Some of those troops could be back in the U.S. as early as this summer.
Brandi Hitt live in the newsroom with what else our commander-in-chief had to say. Brandi?
Glenn and Chair, President Obama announced that he's going to be bringing back those 33,000 surge troops that he actually sent to Afghanistan home by the end of next year. But that also means 70,000 troops will be staying put.
After this initial reduction, our troops will continue coming home at a steady pace as Afghan security forces move into the lead. Our mission will change from combat to support. By 2014, this process of transition will be complete.
Congress is very divided on how many troops should be leaving Afghanistan right now. There are splits even within the parties over whether all should be coming home, especially when this war has cost Americans hundreds of billions of dollars and so many American lives.
A cost that's been paid by the nearly 4,500 Americans who have given their lives in Iraq and the over 1,500 who have done so in Afghanistan. Over the last decade, we have spent $1 trillion on war at a time of rising debt and hard economic times. Now we must invest in America's greatest resource, our people.
Coming up at 6:30, we're going to show you what many of you at home think about these U.S. troop withdrawals. There's an interesting new poll that's come out on whether a majority of Americans want to have U.S. troops come. In fact, all of them come home right now. We're going to have those numbers for you. And also there's an interesting new presidential poll out, a field poll that came out showing where the presidential's approval rating stands, and it's taken a turn. We'll show that to you as well coming up at 6:30. Live in the newsroom, Brandi Hitt, KTLA 5 News. Back to you in the studio.
1 hour ago, President Obama outlined his plan for Afghanistan, and the news could bring some troops home as early as this summer. Brandi Hitt live with the details. Brandi?
Cher, this is the longest war in U.S. history. After 10 years of fighting in Afghanistan, tonight, President Obama announced that he is withdrawing the surge of troops he put there, but keeping a majority of the troops in place.
These long wars will come to a responsible end.
Addressing the nation, President Obama announced he's bringing home 30,000 U.S. troops from Afghanistan by the end of 2012, with the first 10,000 coming home this year.
After this initial reduction, our troops will continue coming home at a steady pace as Afghan security forces move into the lead. Our mission will change from combat to support. By 2014, this process of transition will be complete. Congressional sources say outgoing Defense Secretary Robert Gates and Afghan Commander General David Petraeus only wanted a withdrawal of 5,000 troops.
That worries me a great deal because I don't think there's anyone who is more knowledgeable than General Petraeus.
And many in Congress are split on this issue, even within their own parties.
I think we now have the opportunity to let the Afghans start taking over their country again.
A majority of Americans want our troops to come home as soon as possible, according to this latest Pew Research poll. That is a sharp 8-point increase from right after Osama bin Laden was killed. Then, only 48% wanted all U.S. troops home. Gallup also puts the president's approval rating down to 43%. With unemployment in the U.S. still high and hundreds of billions of dollars spent on the war in Afghanistan, many in Congress think it's time for our strategy there to change.
A dedication of a mission statement back to a war on terror. That's a complete different war than what we're fighting today.
Especially with al-Qaeda now positioned elsewhere in the world and gaining strength. Listen to this. According to senior security officials today, more than 60 al-Qaeda fighters managed to break out of a prison in Yemen. Cher, back to you.
Brandi, thank you.